I refused to let my parents meet my children because they didn't want me to marry my deaf wife. When I first brought Lisa home to meet my parents 3 years ago, I thought they'd love her immediately. She's smart, funny, works as a graphic designer, and makes the best chocolate chip cookies I've ever tasted. But the moment they found out she was deaf, everything changed. My mom's first question wasn't about Lisa's job or her hobbies. It was, how do you even communicate with her? I explained that Lisa reads lips perfectly, and I'd been learning sign language. My dad just shook his head and said, this is going to be so complicated. During dinner, my parents kept talking about Lisa like she wasn't sitting right there. My mom whispered to my dad, what if they have kids? Will the children be normal? Lisa saw every word on their lips. She excused herself to use the bathroom and I followed her. She was crying in the hallway. She told me she was used to people treating her differently, but she never expected it from my family. I felt sick to my stomach watching the two most important groups of people in my life clash like this. Over the next few months, my parents kept dropping hints about how I should think carefully about my future. My dad said things like, marriage is hard enough without adding extra challenges. My mom kept mentioning how my cousin Brad was dating this lovely hearing girl from church. When I proposed to Lisa, my parents refused to help plan the wedding. My mom said she wouldn't waste money on something that probably won't last anyway. My dad told me I was making the biggest mistake of my life and that I'd regret it when we had communication problems. The final straw came 2 weeks before our wedding. My parents called and said they weren't coming. My mom said, we can't support this decision and we won't pretend everything is fine. They missed their only son's wedding because they couldn't accept my wife's deafness. Lisa and I had the most beautiful ceremony anyway. Her family welcomed me with open arms and my best friend stepped in where my parents should have been. Lisa's dad walked me down the aisle because he said I was gaining a father while losing none. Fast forward 2 years. Lisa and I now have twin boys, Austin and Ryan. They're 10 months old and absolutely perfect. They babble constantly, reach for everything, and have Lisa's beautiful smile. Both boys can hear perfectly fine. Not that it would matter to us either way. My parents found out about the babies through my aunt and started calling non-stop. My mom left voicemails crying about how she was missing her grandchildren growing up. My dad sent texts saying they'd made a mistake and wanted to fix things. Last week they showed up at our house unannounced with bags full of baby toys. My mom was crying on our doorstep saying, please let us meet our grandsons, we're sorry about everything. I looked at Lisa and she nodded, but I told my parents they couldn't just walk back into our lives like nothing happened. I said, you missed my wedding because you thought my wife wasn't good enough. Now you want to meet the children you said shouldn't exist. My mom tried to explain that they were just worried about me and didn't understand deafness back then. I told her that wasn't an excuse for 3 years of treating Lisa like she was broken. I made them a deal. They could meet their grandsons, but only if they took sign language classes first. Not because Lisa needed them to, but because I wanted them to understand that her deafness wasn't something to overcome or fix. My dad protested that they were too old to learn a new language. I said, then I guess you're too old to meet your grandchildren. My mom elbowed him and said they'd start classes next week. 6 months later, my parents can have basic conversations with Lisa in sign language. They still mess up grammar sometimes, but they're trying. My mom brings Lisa coffee every Tuesday, and my dad built the boys an amazing playhouse in our backyard.